Okay. Okay, so before going to discuss about the DevOps, let me discuss some of the basic concepts in the DevOps first. Not in the DevOps, just basic concepts of the software development life cycles here. Okay. See, for development of any of the softwares, we used to follow one life cycle here. Okay. So that is called as a software development life cycle. Okay. That is called SDLC. There is a software development life cycle. In our earlier days, we used to use the one model called as a waterfall model. Waterfall model here. So let me discuss some of the basic things in the waterfall model, how the software used to be developed here. Okay. Guys, can you able to hear me? Guys, you can able to hear me? Somebody reply.
Yeah, yeah, I can able to.
Okay, thank you. I think guys, who's that? Just a second. Bill Bassin. Okay. Guys, it might be a issue with your end only. Just disconnect and join one more time. Okay. I think you cannot able to hear, right? Thank you guys. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay. So assume guys, I was the since take the example of this HDFC bank. Okay. So my client was just a second. I was have joined today who can do this course any previous before this course. Guys, all your questions and queries I will ask end of these classes. Okay. Till that time, please concentrate on the demo part. Then you will come to know what are the things I'm going to cover. What is DevOps exactly? All these things. Okay. And so then after that, if any have any queries, I'll answer for that. Okay. So before the demo class, if I answer for your query, it doesn't mean it doesn't understand also, guys, right? Hence, I'm requesting you guys. Okay. After this demo class, I will answer for all your queries, right? Okay. So assume HDFC is your client and your payroll is the take any example CTS. Okay. So it's a cognizant. So what they will do, they will make a meeting with the HDFC bank. Okay. And they will take the requirement. That means how exactly that product will be and how they require, right? So hence the first phase of the software development lifecycle is called as the requirement phase. Okay. So the first phase in the waterfall model is requirement phase. Here in this phase, we will collect all our requirements from our client, that is from the HDFC here. Okay. And they will make the one documentation here. Okay. That is a high level documentation we say. Okay. Then we'll go for the next phase that is called as the design phase. That means how we need to design that application, right? Here our business analyst and tech leads will involve here and they will design the application here. Okay. That is the next phase is design here, right? Okay. When the design is ready, okay, so then we can go for the implementation part. That means our developers will write the source code here and they will start implementing our application here. Implementation part. Here, here our developers and tech leads means and sorry guys, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so the tech leads and the system, not system admins, application owners, they will implement this application here. Okay, once the implementation is ready, then somebody has to test this application, right? As a developer, I can say my application is working fine, but in the end user, they may face issue. So to overcome that issue, what we can do is we will do the testing here. That means my application is working fine or no. Okay, that will be done by our testing team. Okay, that means they will test our application in n number of ways here, right? Okay, so that after the deployment, there should not be any issues, right? Okay, so once the testing and everything looks fine, okay, then we'll go for the next phase, that is the deployment phase, right? That means it will be application will be live here. That is the deployment phase. Okay, deployment phase. Okay, then we have deployed our application is successfully working fine. Then somebody has to maintain this application, right guys? Okay, because if as we have since my application is live, so one or the other issues may come, right? Okay, so somebody has to maintain this application. So that for that one more team will come here, that is called as the maintenance phase. Here our L1 support teams and L2 support teams, they will come into the picture here. Okay, so the next phase is the maintenance phase. Okay, so guys, see how this is the basic waterfall model here. Okay, sorry, this is the steps. This is the waterfall model here. And if you check this one, guys, with each phase is interdependent on the previous phase, guys. Okay, so just take the example here. So in the implementation phase, with that design, we can't go for the implementation, right? Okay, without implementation, we can't go for the testing as well, right? Without testing, we can't go for the deployment as well, right? That means there is interlinked here. So what happens here, guys? Because of this, the resource utilization is very less here. Okay, how we can see that resource utilization is less, guys? Because see, guys, okay, until the requirement is, we won't get the requirement, these guys will be sitting idle here. The design engineers, maintenance engineers, testing, implementation, deployment, yeah, the system admins, test engineers, all these engineers will be sitting idle here, and we are also paying the salary for them, right? Okay, so there is a lot of disadvantage of using this waterfall model here. Okay, so first disadvantage is the waterfall model is resource utilization is less here. Okay, so I will make a note of all the disadvantage, guys, here. Okay, first, resource utilization is less here. Okay, then guys, okay, then here in the requirement phase right here, the requirements, we will take the requirements in a single shot here. Okay, that means what all the applications is there, right? The entire application requirement will take in a single phase here. Okay, that is requirement in a single shot, right? Okay, requirement in a single shot. Then guys, okay, so timestamp to create a one project, guys. Okay, so it roughly takes 6 to 8 months to create one project, guys, here. Okay, so to complete the one phase, one life cycle, it takes roughly around 6 to 8 months to complete one project. Okay, there is a duration, 6 to 8 months. Okay, that is the duration here. Okay, so as you know, guys, it takes 6 to 8 months. As I said, it takes 6 to 8 months here. So assume, guys, within this time duration of time, okay, if any other organization comes and give the same product, the same feature, then the what product which we have developed, it may become outdated, right? And it become waste. So what all the efforts we have put in developing this application, this entire application became waste here, right? Okay, so to overcome this issue, DevOps came into the picture, guys, right? So to overcome this issue, DevOps came into the picture. Okay, in a DevOps, we follow, okay, agile methodology. We follow agile methodology here. As per agile methodology, okay, we used to follow the sprints here, sprints or iterations. Okay, sprints or iteration, we say. Okay, so sprints or iteration. Okay, so the duration of each sprint is 1 to 2 weeks here. Okay, 1 to 2 weeks. The duration of each sprint or iteration is 1 to 2 weeks. Here you can see, guys, it is 6 to 8 months to complete one project, guys. Here you can see 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so how we are achieving this one? Okay, right. So one more thing I wants to add here. Here I told the requirements in a single shot, right? Here the requirement will take in a phase wise. Requirement in a single modules. Okay, here we'll take the requirements in a single modules, guys. Here. Okay. Fine, guys. Okay, so this is about the life cycle here. There is a software development life cycle. So in a DevOps, we used to follow agile methodology here. Okay, so as the name suggests, DevOps, right? If you split these two words here, DevOps, the Dev stands for development, right? And Ops stands for operations. Okay, so guys, DevOps is not a new tool, guys. Here, okay. So DevOps is a new strategy of creating the our sort of building our softwares here, okay, or delivering our life cycle. That is our software development life cycle, building our application here, okay. So DevOps is not a new tools. DevOps is a new strategy of developing any of the applications here, right? Okay, and guys, most important, the most of the tools used in the DevOps, right, are open source only. That means we are no need to purchase a license for using the softwares here. That is the most important. For some of the applications we are paying, okay, I agree, but most of the out of 100%, we can say around 90% of the softwares which we are using, it is open source only, right? It's better, right? Instead of paying the 100%, only 10% we are paying, right? Okay, that is what the advantage of using this DevOps. Okay, and one more thing, guys. Here, the each phase is a manual task here, right? Okay, manual deployment. Whereas here in the agile methodology, deployment is automated. Deployment is automated, guys. Okay. So let's check how we can use the DevOps and achieve this automation. So how we okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay. Okay, let's discuss now how we can using the DevOps, how we can automate all these tasks here, right? Okay. So let me take the new one. Okay, guys, fine. So as you know, the developers will write the source code here, right? Okay, let me take the example of some of the developers here. Assume we have a three developers here. Okay, like this. Okay, so what this developer will do, they will write the source code here based on what kind of application we are using, like Java, .NET, right, or Node.js, React, whatever it is. Okay, so the task of these developers is to write the source code, right? Okay, now guys, okay, so as you know, these guys will be working in terms of modules here. Okay, that means in the entire application we will be working on single modules here. Okay, so some module it might be interdependent on this developer, okay, or some developer it might be dependent on this developer, but how they will exchange the source code here, right? If you are not allowed to share the source code using any of the communication media, like what do you call the Gmail, WhatsApp, or any of the other communication media, guys. Okay, so if you do like that, then you will be fired. Okay, so you are not supposed to do like that. Okay, so for that we are using one of the repository here. Okay, that is called as a version control system. Okay, that is called as a version control system, VCS. So example for this is CVS, subversion, okay, concurrent version. So all the examples for this version control system, guys. So what the developers will do now, so what are the code written by our developers, right? They will push the code to the this version control system here. So if the developer B, assume this is a developer B, he requires a code written by the developer C, then he will not interact with the developer C. Okay, then he will check with this repository here. If the code is available, then this developer will fetch the code from this repository, guys, here, right? Okay, so that is the task of using this repository. That is a version control system. The example for this is Git, GitLab, concurrent version, sub version, and number of VCS is available, guys, in the market, right? Fine, guys. Okay, so now we have a raw source code here. That means it is not an executable code here. It is only a source code. Okay, how we can make this one as an executable code, guys, right? Okay, so for that we are using the build tools. We are using the one more tool called as a build tool here. Okay, to make the code as an executable code. Okay, build tools. So examples for this build tools are Ant, Maven, and Gradle, guys. Okay, so otherwise let me write it here only. Okay, so examples for this is Ant, Maven, and Gradle. Okay, so using this any one of these build tools, that is Ant, Maven, or Gradle, we are making this code, whatever the code which we got from the whatever the code wrote by our developer, right? This is a raw source code. This raw source code we will make it as an executable code. Whereas in the Java applications, we are creating the artifacts here in using this Ant, Maven, or Gradle, guys. Okay. So what are all the artifacts here, right? Okay. So using the build tools, we are creating the artifacts here, right? CGS, okay. So what are the artifacts available? The artifacts are jar, then var, then EAR. Okay. So what is this jar stand for? That is Java Archives, right? Then var stands for Web Archives. Then EAR stands for Enterprise Archives here, right? So what we are doing using this build tools, that is, let me write it here. Okay, build tools. Examples are Ant, Maven, and Gradle. So using any one of these build tools, we are creating the artifacts here like this. That is jar or var or EAR. So it depends on the project here. We need to create the jar, why we need to create the var, why we need to create the EAR means it depends on project. What kind of project we are working on that we need to create these type of artifacts, guys, using any one of these build tools, either Ant, Maven, or Gradle. Okay, so what are all the artifacts available? That is jar, var, EAR, then
Hi Tushar, I'm not able to hear. Hello?
Hey Tushar, you are lost.
Hi, even I am also not able to hear.
guys,
Yeah,
okay now?
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
it's fine now.
okay, guys. Yeah, please mute, guys. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have a source code. Sorry, using is any one of these build tools, either Ant or Maven or Gradle, we are creating these artifacts, guys. That is jar or var or EAR, right? Okay. So why we need to create the jar or why we need to create the var, why we need to create the EAR means it depends on project. Okay, what kind of project you are working, based on that we need to create these artifacts, guys. Okay, so that is the task of using this build tools, guys. Okay, so this is also open source. It is a freely available. Won't need to purchase a license here. Okay, then okay, then come to the next topic, next part. Assume guys, okay, so we have three developers here. Some might be the intelligent developer, some might be the poor developer here, okay, but organization wants to maintain the guys. Bashan, okay, I will answer your query later on, okay, after this demo class I will answer all your queries, okay, please. Sorry, don't mind. Okay, okay. Fine. So the organization wants to maintain the standard of their source code. That means it should avoid the bugs, it should avoid the vulnerabilities here, okay. So for that, what we can do is, being a human being, it is very difficult to identify the bugs. That means you'll be having the thousands together lines, right? So being a human, it is quite difficult to check all the source code, right? Okay, so for that, what we can do is, we can use a one more tool called as a sonar cube. Okay, sonar cube. So the so the task of this sonar cube is the source code quality checking. Okay, that means whatever the code wrote by our developers, right? Okay, those code will be inspected by our sonar cube. If there is any bugs, if the developer has not taken the proper standards while creating the code, then this sonar cube will identify that, okay, and it will fix the issue there. Okay, then our developer has to fix that issue, until we can't go for the next process here. Okay, that is the task of using this sonar cube here. Okay, fine guys. Okay, now we have a code. Now we have a for using the sonar cube, we have took the proper source code quality checking also we have done. Okay, and using these builder tools, we are creating the artifacts. Guys, at any certain point of time, I may require the old artifact. Okay, that is the Java, jar, var, or EAR, right? Okay, these things. So at any point of time, I may require the older one. Okay, so for that, we are keeping these artifacts backup here. Okay, just for backup purpose. So for that also, we have a repository called as the artifactory repository. We say, okay, artifactory repository. Okay, that is Nexus and JFrog. So guys, Nexus is freely available, whereas the JFrog is a paid one, guys. Okay, we need to purchase a license for using this JFrog, guys. Okay, that is the one paid service here. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, everything looks good. Then comes the main tool, that is our Jenkins, that is our CI tool. Okay, as the name suggests here, CI, that means continuous integration tool. That is Jenkins or Hudson. So both are same only, guys. Okay, so Jenkins is an open source, whereas the Hudson is a paid service. Okay, if you're using this Hudson, then you need to purchase a license for using this software here. Okay, so the task of this Jenkins, the CI tool, right? What it will do is, we need to create a job here for all the projects. Okay, then what Jenkins will do is, the Jenkins will automatically fetches the code from my version control system. That is, whichever the version control system you are using is, either Git, GitLab, Subversion, whatever it is. Okay, we need to integrate it with the Jenkins here. So later on, what happens? So Jenkins will automatically fetch us, guys. See, guys, this is automatically it is fetching. We are not going to do anything manually here. Okay, it is automatically fetching the code from my version control system. Okay, once it has fetched the code, right, it will give the code to my Sonar Cube. Why it is giving? Because it wants to check the analysis. Okay, that is a source code quality checking it has to do. Okay, unless until we are not going to do for the next process here. Okay, fine. Once the Sonar Cube test is done, then we'll go for the builder tool, guys. Okay, using any one of the builder tool, we will create the artifacts here. Okay, right, like this. Okay, and at the meantime, we are pushing these artifacts to my artifactory repository just for backup purpose. Okay, just for backup purpose, we are pushing this, whatever the artifact is created by our build tool, right? That artifacts we are pushing to our Nexus or JFrog as an artifact repository, guys. Okay, just for backup purpose, right? See, guys, all these steps are automated only. We are not going to do anything manual task here. Okay, now whilst doing from the scratch, okay, we need to configure all these tools with the Jenkins. So and we need to create a job in the Jenkins for each project. Then the rest of the things will be taken care by our Jenkins only, guys. Okay, we are not going to do, and we are not going to touch anything manually later on. Once you're done with that, right? Okay, fine, guys. Okay, everything looks good. Now we can go for the deployment, right? Okay. So for the deployment, we are using Tomcat or Wildfly. Okay, using Tomcat or Wildfly, we'll go for the deployment. How we are going to deployment? Again, we need to interact. We need to interact with the Jenkins. We need to do the integration with the Jenkins. Okay, so the Jenkins will do the deployment automatically here. Okay, see, the entire process is automated here. We are not going, since it is automated, and the chances of failure is very less, guys, here. Okay, it may fail due to some other issue. Okay, but the chances of getting failure is very less here, because all the task is automated. If the humans are doing, then it's, we may get a chance to failure here, right? Since it is doing everything by my machine, then the chances will be very less here. Okay, assume, guys. Okay, now if we have a only one, if we have a small application, then we can using the one instance. Okay, then we can go for the deployment. Assume if there is any critical applications here, right? Take the example of HDFC Bank net banking, or e-commerce application like Flipkart or Amazon or Walmart. Okay, so those application, not even a single fraction of seconds application goes down here. Okay, why? Because they will maintain a n number of instances here. Okay, like this. Okay, they will create a n number of instances of their applications here. Okay, Tomcat and flag. Okay, Tomcat and flag. Any of this. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, so if there is a one single instance, then we can go for the deployment here in the using the Jenkins. So assume if we have a n number of instances here, right? Okay, 2 to 3 instances we have deploy. We need to deployment. Then there is a two ways here. Okay, one is we need to create a jobs for separately. Okay, for all these instances. Okay, otherwise we can use one more important tool called as a configuration management tool here. Okay, we can make a one intermediate here, that is a configuration management tool, we say. So the examples for this is chef, puppet, and ansible. So using any one of this configuration management tool, okay, we will go for the deployment here. Not only it is not the task of going for the deployment, guys. Okay, you can do whatever the task you want. Assume, suppose for example, he wants to update a patch in this instance. Okay, use, instead of touching this server, you can perform the task here only. Okay, so once you're done, okay, all the 3 instances it is going to deploy here. Okay, so that is the advantage of using this configuration management tool here. It is in a simple manner. We can say like we can take the example of TV remote, guys. Okay, instead of going and operating your TV, okay, you can operate from remote, right? In the same manner here also, instead of going and touching your server and then other, you can do it in a remote only. Okay, that is the advantage here of using the configuration management tool. Either is a chef or puppet or ansible, guys. Okay, okay, fine, everything looks good, guys. Okay, fine. Then one more important tool, guys. As of now in the market, most of them are using the microservice architecture here. Okay, that is using the Node.js or React. They will write the source code and they will create the Docker image here. Okay, so for that, what we can do is we can use a one more important tool called as a Docker. That is the containerization tool. We say Docker containers. Okay, so this one also we can interact. We can integration with the Jenkins. Okay, so the Jenkins will automatically perform the next task here. Okay, it will automatically use the code over Docker here. So using Docker, we can go for the deployment using Tomcat or Wildfly. Okay, so let me add this one also. So what is this containerization tool, guys? As I said, Docker is a containerization tool here, but what is this container here? Okay, so assume, guys, okay, here if you're vacating your home, what you will do, you will assign a one container. Under that you will put all your house utensils, right? Like TV, fridge, washing machine, whatever it is. Okay, so in the same manner here also, the Docker containers mean in the same container you will find your your operating system, your applications, okay, and your any dependencies is there. So those dependency files, everything in a single file, okay, and the size of this file will be very less, guys, here, okay. And because of this very less size, the shipping of these containers will be very less. Shipping means where we are shipping, guys, okay. Again, see, shipping in the sense here, okay. So if you are using this workstation here, okay, so for that we needs to integrate, so we needs to install this application separately here, okay. In all the platform, different softwares we needs to use. Whereas in the Docker, in the same application, if the application Docker application is running in a Mac or Linux or Windows, wherever it is, okay, so using this image we can run our containers, okay. It's simple, right? So the only prerequisites is the Docker should be up and running in any of the machine, whatever the machine it is, okay, either Mac or Linux or Windows, okay, any flavors. Only one condition is Docker should be up and running, okay. Using that Docker, we can go for the deployment here, okay. Fine, guys, everything looks good, okay. So assume if there is a, if take the example of HDFC Bank net banking only, okay. Being a human, okay, it is very impossible to go and check whether my application is working fine or not, right? Okay, for every 1 second or 2 seconds or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, okay. So for that, what we can do is we can use a one more tool called as a monitoring tool, okay. That is called as a monitoring tool, that is the Nagios, okay, or Neuralink. Okay, a number of monitoring tools is there, guys. Just I took the example of Nagios and Neuralink. So the task of this Nagios or Neuralink is it will check the your application or infrastructure whether it is working fine or no as expected. Okay, if anything goes wrong, okay, then you will find a one supporting team here. You will get a one supporting team. So this supporting team will be monitored by our Nagios or Neuralink, guys. Okay, so this Nagios or Neuralink will send a notification to your supporting team. So this supporting team will checks, okay, whether the issue is with the application wise, then they will raise a ticket to the application team. If there is any issue with the infrastructure level, then they will raise a ticket to our DevOps engineers, guys. Okay, so the ticketing tool we can use the Jira. A number of is there tools is there, guys, like service desk, okay, like a number of ticketing tools is there. Using any one of these ticketing tool, they will raise a ticket here. Okay, so this is what the CI/CD process we say, guys. There is a continuous integration and continuous delivery here. Okay, so let me recall one more time. So our developers will write the source code here, and this source code will be pushed to our version control system. Okay, once this developer pushes the code to the version control system, this developer task is completed here. Okay, then the DevOps engineers comes into the picture. Okay, then we need to integrate all the code, all the tools with a Jenkins. Okay, and we need to create a job in a Jenkins for every project, guys. Okay, so then the Jenkins will automatically fetches the code from the version control system, and it will give to the Sonar queue for source code quality checking, and it will give to the build tools for creating the artifacts, that is jar or var or EAR. Okay, and that artifact we are pushing it to the artifactory repository, that is a Nexus or JFrog, guys. Okay, just for a backup purpose. Okay, then if there is a not critical application, then we can directly go for the deployment here using the Tomcat or Wildfly. If the application is critical, then we are creating the n number of instances here like this. Okay, so instead of operating your updating, okay, instead of going and updating all your patches in all the servers, okay, what we can do is we can use a configuration management tool, that is a Chef or Puppet or Ansible. Okay, so using this what do you call configuration management tool, using remotely we can operate our servers, guys. Okay, okay. So what the Jenkins will do, the whatever the artifact has created by the Jenkins, with that code will be given to our and configuration management tool, and that configuration management tool will deploy in all the instance in a single shot, guys. Okay, because of this there is a zero downtime here. Okay, we are making a zero downtime application here. That is what we require. Then comes the Docker, that is a containerization tool, as the name suggests, container here. Okay, that means all your applications, operating system, and dependency files, and okay, all this will make in a one single image here. Okay, and the size of this Docker image will be very less, and because of this very less size, the shipment of this Docker image will be very less, guys. Okay, and most of the architecture, most of the organization now they are following for the microservice architecture, guys, using this Docker image and the Kubernetes clustering here. Okay, fine. Then comes the Nagios or New Relic. The task of this Nagios or New Relic, okay, is to monitor our application or infrastructure. Okay, and the supporting this task of this, okay, infrastructure, and they will send the notification to our supporting team. Okay, so this supporting team will identify whether it is an issue with the application team, then they will raise a ticket to the application team. If the issue is with the infrastructure level, then they will raise a ticket to the DevOps engineers, guys. So this is what the DevOps CI/CD process, that is the continuous integration and continuous delivery here. Right, guys? Any doubts here? Let me answer your queries, guys. Somebody is asking, suppose I need to develop a code which was written in a Python. So in that case, what tools I need to give? Okay. Shubham Mishra. Okay. So as per your query, pre-request before this course, okay, nothing is required, guys. Okay. So I am teaching from the scratch from the Linux. Okay. Since most of the servers will be available in a Linux machine, so Linux box only. Okay. Hence we will teach from the scratch from the Linux basics. Okay. If you're very blind, okay, that means if you don't have any knowledge of the Linux machine, then no need to worry. We are teaching from scratch from ABCD of the DevOps to higher end. Okay. Don't worry about that. There is no prerequisite. Okay. Wait. Suppose I need to build the code which are written in the Python. So in that case, which tools I need to go? Okay. I don't know this one. Okay. I will check and update you. Bash. Okay. I was working in a Node.js and Java applications. So this Python, I don't know yet. Sorry. I'll check it out and update you. Okay. What is the major difference between Jenkins jobs, freestyle, and pipelines? Yeah, it's a good question. Yes, and the freestyle in the sense it is a GUI. Okay, that is a graphical user interface. Whereas a pipeline in the sense here we are creating the jobs in a scripted one. That is the difference. In a scripted also we will find the two methods. That is the pipeline script and the declarative script. Okay, so what all the difference between those two will come to know while taking with the regular classes. How much experience can I show? You can easily show 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay, Shubham, no issues.
Sure, Tushar, are you covering pipeline as a code in this course?
Yes. Everything I will cover. Okay, I will take the slide. Okay, next one. Okay. So I need to the doubts, guys, in this CI/CD process. So if there is no doubts, then I will explain what are the tools I am going to cover and what are the topics as well.
Sir, one more question. You mentioned
Yeah.
Jenkins there, but in enterprise level, some of the company they use a immediate tool like a UCD, Urban Code. So where that comes in picture here, are you going to cover that or what is your plan for that?
Now, urban code we are not going to cover here. Okay.
Okay.
That is the deployment we used to use. Some of the organization use for the carbon code deployment that
Mm-hmm.
most of them are not using. Some of the organization they are preferring here.
Yeah, who wants to track all these releases stuff, which version is going on and what is current version? They usually prefer to use that. So just wanted to know, just curious to know, are you going to use that here? That's fine. You can move ahead.
Okay. Any other doubts, guys? Okay, once again, somebody has put a message. The syllabus I will come to know. I will, Ashutosh, I will update the syllabus. Okay, just a second.
So, Tushar, one more question. So, whenever we do a deployment through the Jenkins, sometimes we need to take care like a post-deployment work. So, where we can cover that, like in
Yeah,
manual,
everything.
whenever yeah,
See, everything will. So this is only a demo class. Okay. So all these
no, no,
things will come.
just trying to understand that are you going to cover all these kind of points there in this course?
Yes,
Like
yes.
whenever we do a manual deployment, after deployment, we do a like we run the Unix script there to clean up the environment or whatever required there. So
Mhm.
just curious to know where we can configure that item in Jenkins. Is there any way to do that, or still do we need to do by manual process?
See, for that we can run a script here. We can, as that is what. So for DevOps engineer, they require any one of the scripting language here. That is a Python or shell script. Okay. So for the prerequisites, what we can do is we can write a one shell script and we can check our servers here, whether the what is the RAM size, what is the hard disk space is there, okay, what is this CPU utilization, all those kind of things. Okay, we need to write a script for that,
I
and
got
we
your
can,
point. I got your point.
we can
I intend to ask here, like, think about it. You are building your code, pushing that as a zip file. That zip file has an ER file. Once your code is there, you're going to unzip that to deploy
Mhm.
that, right? You run some command like think about it. If you are doing a tip call, so once deployment is done, you need to delete that zip file. So is there any way to take care to delete that zip file through the
Yes,
Jenkins?
yes. See,
Okay.
In Jenkins is a very intelligent tool. Okay, we can write a shell script there also. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
deployment is done. What we can do is in a Jenkins, we'll write a n number of steps. Okay, so first
Mm-hmm.
what it has, second step what it has to perform. Okay, like that we'll write a n number of stages here. That is called as a pipeline script. We say. So suppose for example, he wants to delete that zip file, whatever the zip file is there deployed there, right? If he wants to delete that one, we can write a shell script there. Okay, and there only it will runs that. Okay, there is no issues. It is
Okay. I got it.
how we are designing. It's left to you here. Okay.
Thanks. Thanks for this clarification. One more question. Right now, whatever
Yeah.
we are talking about, these all are for on-premise, right? And
Yes. Yes.
nowadays we are evolving over the cloud infrastructure. So does the does this model works on AWS as well, like any cloud provider? Like
Yeah.
if we have a
Yeah. Using the
situation to write,
AWS.
yeah, if we have a situation to write down a cloud formation, can we integrate cloud formation under Jenkins?
Yes. Yes. See, most of my whatever the regular classes, right? I will take it in the AWS cloud only. Okay, because the DevOps engineers requires a knowledge on cloud as well. Okay, hence we
Hmm.
are taking a combination of DevOps plus AWS. We are taking. Okay, so tools I will explain now. What are the tools I'm going to cover in the regular classes? Okay, so
Sounds good.
as of now I showed what is this DevOps and how the CI/CD process works here. That's it.
Hmm.
Okay, so if any doubts is regarding with this CI/CD process, then I will explain. Otherwise, then I will go for the tools what I'm going for. Okay,
Sure.
right. Yes, yeah. Should I need to deploy the Java here through CMS tool or go through container? It depends on your architecture, guys. Okay, how your project is architect is designed, right? Based on that, we can go for the deployment. Sorry, we are asking Python for DevOps. Bill, right? Okay, so I got a confusion here. See, Bill, Python is for a scripting one. Okay, I don't know whether they will write a source code here or using the Python language. Okay.
They do, as I know, and they use PyBuilder to building that just like a Maven. Maven for Java and PyBuilder for Python.
Okay. Yes, scripting. Yes, scripting. Correct, Ashutosh. It is for scripting, not for source code here. So, guys, if no doubts, then what tools which I am going to cover in the regular classes, right? Okay. So, tools. Okay, as I told, first is the Linux. Okay. Second one is the Git, that is a version control system. Okay. then Maven for building the artifacts here. Okay. Then Nexus and JFrog. Okay, that is our artifact repository. Okay. Then SonarQube for source code quality checking. Okay. Then Jenkins, that is our CI tool. Okay. Then Docker for containerization tool, right? Then Tomcat for deployment, okay, and Wildfly as well. Wildfly is also named called as JBoss, okay. Then comes the monitoring tool, that is the Nagios, okay. Then configuration management tool, okay. Introduction to Chef and right, okay. Then Ansible is the main, okay. So then, okay, some of the basic things of the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, Kubernetes cluster. So these are all the tools as per the DevOps perspective. Okay, then for the DevOps engineers, they require a AWS cloud, not only the AWS cloud here. Okay, any one of the cloud knowledge they require. Most organization uses the AWS cloud. Hence, we are teaching on the AWS as well. AWS cloud. Okay, that is the EC2 machines, right? Then auto scaling, then load balancer, then what else? Storage, then VPC, there is a virtual private cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, guys. So all these things, if I left anything, I will add here. Okay.
So for these native tools, are you going to give a depth knowledge or just like an overview to spin EC2 through the Jenkins or Autoscale, or are you going to configure over the AWS console?
Yeah, everything I will explain. Yes, here. Okay. So in the real time or perspective, what all the scenarios we will face, right? So all these things I will explain here. While first I will take the overview of what exactly it is. Okay. Suppose for example, auto means what auto scaling is and how we are implement. Okay. So everything I
So
will explain with the
implementation point of view, is it, yes, I don't know, is there a way to do through the Jenkins to autoscale that?
yeah, it depends here. How we are that is what I told you, right? It's you are interesting how we are implementing that. Okay.
All
So
right.
suppose
And
example here.
how about Jenkins means I asked already before, pipeline as a code, you going to cover that, right? So pipeline as a code, I think it's required to understand Gradle, Groovy language. So you going to cover Groovy as well
See,
there?
this pipeline script is called that scripting language is called as a Groovy script here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Groovy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this should be covered in this course, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Everything I will cover here. Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. Some of them they used to call as a pipeline script. Okay. But the exactly the technical language is the Groovy script. GROOVY. Groovy script it is. Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yes, guys. Any other doubts? Some of them have put a message here. Let me check. Will you cover DevSecOps? No, yeah, sorry. Is that Sandeep? No, yeah, no, Sandeep. Sorry for that. We are not covering. So let me know one thing: should I need to install SonarQube physically on my machine or just add a plugin in on a Jenkins? Please answer. You will first thing you need to see for all the tools we needs to configure a plugin here. Even though if you are configuring the Maven also, for that also plugin is required. So whatever the tools you are configuring, right, for that particular plugin is available, we need to install that plugin and we need to configure the plugin there. Okay, then only it will work. Unless until it is not going to work. Okay, is that clear, Bill? SonarQube can be downloaded in the zip file, or based on your operating system, you can run the commands from command prompt. What is this? SonarQube can be downloaded in zip files. I'm not understanding something this question. Okay. Yes, guys. Any other doubts? Is that clear, guys? So all the tools, guys. Okay, I am taking from the scratch to the advanced level. Okay, if I'm not going to leave any of the topic, if by mistake anywhere I left, me just inform me. I will take that class. Okay, I'm damn sure I'm not going to miss any of the topic. If I miss means I'll take that. Okay. As per somebody has asked, right, the Groovy script. Okay, so it is a confusion here. Sometimes they used to call it a pipeline script, and sometimes they used to call it a Groovy script. Okay, the person who don't know about the DevOps, okay, they call as a pipeline script here. Okay, but whereas the technical word is a Groovy script only. Okay, there also we used to create in the two ways. One is the declarative, and another one is the pipeline script. Again, what exactly the declarative and what exactly the pipeline, you will come to know while taking the regular classes. Okay, so it is only a demo here, right?
So by
Okay,
the way, when you are starting your regular class,
hopefully by next weekend it seems. I need to check it out. Just we need to check with the Durga soft for that
all right.
by next week. Hi Tushar, how long it take? It's roughly around 2 months, Venkatesh, Venkat Narayan. 2 to 2.5 months, roughly.
So this should be a weekend classes, right?
Yes, yes, it's totally weekend. Actually, one weekday or weekdays also project. What do you call the DevOps class is going on. Okay, it's I already started the Jenkins there. Okay, so if we have any issues with the timings, okay, in the weekends class, you can join at that batch also. Okay, what are the topics which you have missed? Okay, I will take the extra class for them. There is no issues.
What will be the
Whoa.
duration of class, sir?
Sorry.
What will be the duration of class? It will be 1 hour or more than 1 hour?
1.5 hour. So in the weekends it will be more. Yeah, sorry. So weekdays it will be 1.5 hour, whereas in the weekends around 3 hours. Okay,
Okay.
1.5 hour take means it takes around 3 to 4 months to complete.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, guys. Any other doubts? I hope everybody's query is clear.
Tushar, Venkat here. So after
Hello.
completion of course, will it this knowledge sufficient to work in real-time environment, or do we need further more advances?
Sorry, your voice was not clear.
No, my question is like, is this course knowledge is enough to work in a real-time environment?
See, what the laptop I am using as of now, it is my office laptop only. Okay, once your class is done, I'll show how we are working. Okay, how the scenario, what do you call, the real-time scenarios which we will get, how we need to fix that issue. All these things I will show you. Okay, this is my official laptop. Okay, so in a real time, I will show you how to do that.
Okay, that's fine. That's great, actually. Thank you so much.
Yeah, whatever I'm teaching, right? It's more than enough. In a real time scenarios only, I wish to teach you. Okay. Don't you can easy and one more thing is once the class is done, right, I will help you in creating the resumes as well, and I have a 40 to 50 interview recordings with me. Okay, so I will share that also so that you can easily crack the interview. Okay, and we can predict here, guys. Okay, what exactly the questions will be. Okay, so once you're thorough with the whatever I'm teaching, right, If you are thorough with that, then you can easily crack the interview here. It is not that much burden to crack the interview. It is very easy. See, one of my colleague is not colleague, my student here. Okay, he is working in Intel. I don't want to disclose his name. His package is around 25 lakhs per annum as of now. Okay, and that too he is having experience on only 6 to 7 months. Sorry, 6 to 7 years on DevOps. Why that much of openings is there means because they don't know what DevOps is. Okay, in the market. Okay, because of that, very less engineers they are giving the very huge package here and very a number of openings also for DevOps. If you want to do the trial and error method, guys, just put a CV in your Naukri. Okay, so that within 1 month you can able to join. Okay, and see how much calls you are getting here. Okay, starting 2 to 3 days you won't get because it takes a time to activate there. Okay, so after that you just check it out. Daily 2 to 3 calls you will get it for DevOps.
So for Intel type of interview, these courses enough to crack that interview there?
Yeah, 100% damn sure. You can easily crack the interview. So in our regular classes also, while taking the class, I will point it out. Okay, where exactly the questions will be and how it will be. Okay, I will point on that also. And I have my WhatsApp group. Okay, so whatever any other updated documents we'll get, I will put a message on that. Okay, so that everybody will get the notes. Right.
Sounds good, Tushar, and you are very helpful. I appreciate your time. You gave very good information.
Thank you. Thank you. Your good name?
Vinay.
Vinaya.
Vinay.
V-
Vinay.
Vinay. Okay. Oh, Vinay, are you an Indian? You are Indian, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Any other doubts? Okay, for the rest of the things, the class timings, meeting ID, and payments, everything just coordinate with the Durga soft guys. Okay, so they are the concerned person. So once the class is completed, right? So you will get the videos on daily basis to your Google Drive. Okay.
So should we close now? We good?
Yeah, that is what, guys. No doubts, right? If no doubts, I'm going to end the meeting.
Sir,
Yeah, who's this?
yeah, thank you. This is Vivek here.
Okay, Venkat. Okay, bye. Bye,
Thank
guys.
you,
Bye,
sir.
everybody. Have a great day. Have a happy weekend. Bye.
Bye bye.